My name's Marcia Ella-Duncan. I'm the chairperson of the Laperouse Local Aboriginal Land Council. I identify as a Yuin woman. My mob is traditionally from the far south coast of New South Wales, the Walbunja people specifically. Being inducted into the Australian Netball Hall of Fame was a very unexpected honour and award. I've been involved with netball since I was 9, so that's well over 40 years. I finished my representative career. I retired from representative netball, over 25 years ago. I guess in a lot of ways the award or the induction was unexpected because, it's usually people that have, coached the Diamonds or are selecting for Australia that we would expect to be inducted. So to be recognised for my contribution both to my community but to the grassroots sport is very special to me. It was quite an honour. Netball presented me with opportunities to grow and learn. And if I reflect on my own past, my own history, and if I take netball out of that history, I can see that I'd be in a very different place to where I am now. I think, I was on the trajectory that would have led me to, perhaps some very self-destructive behaviours. I think, I was a pretty wild kid. I'd had some stuff happen to me in my childhood that now I can understand was influencing how I was behaving as a young teenager and a young adult. But the difference between me and my peers is that I was off doing netball and building self-confidence and getting positive reinforcement and taking me out of those situations that may have been dangerous, either to myself or to others. My involvement in sport was obviously one that saved me in a lot of ways, and I feel very strongly that sport can provide those opportunities to more Aboriginal kids. I spent a lot of years working in juvenile justice and in government departments where we worked on alleviating disadvantage for Aboriginal people, so I'm well familiar with the factors that contribute to juvenile offending or poor health outcomes. And so I do take a very strong focus about engaging young people in sport as a lifestyle, not necessarily as a way to, play for Australia. That's a byproduct, if you like. My primary aim is to get kids involved in sport for life because it can be a life changer for them. I think we're seeing in New South Wales land councils become more and more involved in sport. Land councils, have an unbelievable task in front of them. On the one hand, we are limited to what we can do in terms of the legislation and the functions of a LALC. But on the other hand, we are at the coalface and we know what the needs and aspirations of our communities are. The great challenge for land councils is how do we discharge our responsibilities under the legislation, and at the same time, how do we meet the needs of our community? And I think we're seeing more and more land councils, as they become economically independent, have greater capacity to contribute to some of the more social activities that help keep us connected and keep us grounded and provide opportunities to exceed and excel. And sport for me is one of those. I have always been really committed to my land council. I think I became a member when I was about 19. So the Land Rights Act was only a couple of years old when I first joined. My father always felt that it was really important that we are involved in our local community. And my father felt very strongly that land councils were an important part of our community structure and therefore we should be involved to support its direction. So I take the role of the LALC in our community and my role as a local chair very seriously. I, have skills and capabilities that I bring to the role that my board members have different skills and capabilities that they bring to the board that our members do. And so I think, when we have robust and good community involvement, then we have an incredible diversity of views and opinions and an incredible diversity of skills and experience. And that's what makes land councils so rich and vibrant, even though sometimes it's really hard going because it's hard to get consensus when we've got such diversity. But that's part of the challenge really, and that's where I think my leadership skills hopefully make a contribution, because they help draw all of that diversity together and try to build a vision for the future. And I think both the board and the chair, that's their key responsibility, is to have a vision for the future and to develop the strategic plans that we need to deliver on that vision, or to get us to that point in time, and to work with our community so that we all have a sense of ownership of that vision. One of the challenges for the Land Council Network is that we tend to be very retrospective. We tend to be focused on the mistakes that we've made in the past, and sometimes I think that renders us fearful of making mistakes in the future. And I sort of tend to have the opposite sort of mindset. It's like, yeah, we're not perfect, and yes, we will make mistakes, but that should not inhibit or limit us in what we think we're capable of.